is winding down, it's fun to look back on the time, including a few good books. In today's Page Turners, the Urbana Free Library, the staff are sharing their top picks of 2021. And Lauren Chambers, Programming and Outreach Manager, is here with a few of those on the list. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so 2021's wrapping up, so it's time to put all of those top lists together. And you all have put your top books from your staff. So what was the criteria to make the list and the cutoff?
Basically, it just had to be a book that the staff member really enjoyed. We just every December ask our staff, tell us what you loved reading the most over the year, and we put this together in a book display. So people are looking for inspiration or looking for something to read during our winter reading program, which runs through the end of February. They can look there for inspiration to find some new good reads.
Well, and it looks like we've got a little bit of everything making the cut, from children's books to pigeon watching books to maybe some more novels. So let's start on the side closest to you and tell me a little bit about these books that made the list.
Sure, I will do a quick run through of some of them.
Okay.
So let's start with our comic book. So this is Harley. It focuses on, she becomes Harley Quinn, and it is that character's time before she becomes one of Batman's villains. Kind of her descent into what makes her a villain, from when she's a psychologist and meets the Joker, to eventually becoming his sidekick and love interest.
Looks like it may have some beautiful artwork, illustrations in
yes,
there.
Yes, the artwork
from the
is
cover.
Fabulous.
Okay, and then up next, towards the top of the table here.
Next is Sitting Pretty, which is by Rebecca Tausig, and she is someone who, at a very young age, had to start using a wheelchair. And so this is just a collection of essays that's about her life. It talks about bodies, representations.
And this is a true story.
Yep.
Okay.
True story. It's nonfiction. But it's a really, really good book. She's very funny at times, and other times she'll break your heart.
Oh, is that geared more towards like young adults, like teen readers?
I would say that would probably be more towards adults.
Okay. Okay. Up next to it, what do we have?
I have a novel that is called Early Morning Riser by Katherine Heine. This follows Jane and Duncan. Jane has just moved to a small town, and she's fallen in love with Duncan, and realizes that almost every other woman in the town has also at some point fallen in love with Duncan. And so this chronicles their lives over the next 17 years, and her he's still best friends with his ex-wife and does her lawn, and just how their relationship changes over those years.
The drama.
Yes, there's a lot of drama in there.
Tell me about this one.
One Last Stop is a romance novel focusing on August, who's 23 and has just moved to New York and thinks she doesn't need anyone, no friends, no love interest, except she keeps seeing this woman who looks like she belongs from the 1970s on her commute train, and she falls in love with her and realizes that actually she is from the 1970s. And needs help getting back to her time, or at least breaking free of being stuck on the commute train.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like an interesting tale. Looks like we have a little bit more serious books here coming this way. So the next two are a little more serious. We have The Between, which is a horror novel where there's a man named Hilton who, when he was 7, he was supposed to drown, but instead his grandmother died. And years later, someone keeps sending, his wife is an African-American judge, and someone keeps sending her racist hate mail. Oh, no.
And so he's trying to protect his family, but when he sleeps, he sees strange things and has horrific nightmares and like slightly off versions of his own life, and he doesn't know if he is actually starting to lose his mind, or maybe he's becoming, tapping into parallel universes and actually seeing alternate versions of his family in his life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're about out of time, but there's children's books on the list.
Yes, children's books,
cute.
More nonfiction. If you're a bird lover, we have a guide to pigeon watching that is both instructive and hilarious.
How long will this display be up at the library?
It's going to be up for a little bit longer, at least through the next week. There are over 80 books in total on the list, and this is just a small selection that I brought.
Well, great. Some great inspiration here to kick off that winter reading, and maybe you can get signed up for the program that you have going on there at the library. To see the a full list of books of all of the favorites there at the staff at the Urbana Free Library. We'll have that linked up at our website, CILiving.tv. Lauren, we appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.